Hey y'all. Welcome to the channel. Give credit where credit is due. I wanted to start the video by thanking one of my beautiful subscribers who donated to the channel. If you would like to support me and my work and offer sort of energy exchange, my PayPal link is down below. I bring this up because this specific subscriber who donated inspired me to make this video. A couple of you in the community actually inspired me to make this video about giving credit where credit is due. So basically, I love thinking about this because actually this is something that I still struggle with to this day, giving credit where credit is due. A lot of times when we've experienced narcissistic relationships, what happens is people who don't take responsibility for themselves often will take responsibility for you, right? So it's like when you've done something really amazing, a kind of entitled and narcissistic parent or boss may take that as their own and, you know, say that like they caused it, or that like they made you that way. And this can like create a sort of like cognitive dissonance, especially with parents, where, you know, your body and you know that, you know, maybe your parent or whoever it is actually really hurt you and actually really like sabotaged you, but they're thinking, you know, that they made you into who you are. And this is a really common thing with narcissists. I've definitely experienced a narcissist who told me that he thinks that he made me. He was like, I made you. I made that girl. Bitch, what? Have you ever experienced that? But yeah. And that's like this responsibility kind of inversion and distortion where, you know, when people are in really heavy states of illusion, you know, they have this image inside their mind of who they are that isn't really who they are, you know what I mean? And actually, I want to show you this tarot card that I have to explain this a little bit more in depth. I'm just feeling inspired to. I don't know why. It's a little bit unrelated, but let's go. Okay. Also, if you notice, my energy might be coming off a little bit sad. It's not you, it's me. And you're safe. But I just had like my cat like fell off the bed and like hit his head, and he's okay, but I was just like, it really scared the shit out of me. So okay. Laziness from the Osho Zen Tarot. I fucking love this tarot, by the way. Like, I would highly recommend getting this tarot. It's taught me so many beautiful lessons. Like, really, like it. The depictions of these cards are. It's so easy to like look at the card and like for me to like understand what it means. And so I had a video about laziness, and the projection in this card kind of like taught me what it was. So laziness. Basically in this card, to me, this represents illusion. So this is like the shattered mirror. The mirror is distorted, and then this individual is living in this like illusionary reality where he believes he's like this rich person in vacation on top of the world, and it's all an illusion, you know what I mean? It's just an illusion of his mind. He thinks that he's this amazing person, and but when that mirror cracks, you know, what's left underneath is not what the person thought they were. And that's what laziness is to me. This is the card of laziness. When people don't take responsibility for themselves, they become lazy. Not taking responsibility is a way to avoid conflict. Avoiding conflict makes someone lazy. The way to avoid conflict is to create an illusion. And that is what narcissistic people do. And it's also like, we all do it. Narcissistic people may just do it to a very like deep extent, but like we all have illusions and ways that we might misinterpret things. Me too. I'm still working through them, dude. There's a lot. What the fuck? Okay. So yeah. And so when I say people are like lost in their illusions, it's like when you're with a narcissistic person who believes they're this, when in reality there's something more like mean and dark or whatever they are, who believes they're this, it's like they'll be really keen to take credit of you. You know what I mean? They'll be really keen to think that, you know, they caused something beautiful in you when really like they were harming you. And this is like kind of like the epitome of narcissistic abuse. They harm people and believe they're, you know, this rich, awesome person, or whatever their delusions are, whatever their grandiose delusion is, or their illusions are. And they're actually harming others. And that's the danger of illusion. Because you can believe whatever you want about yourself, and you start being things that are unspeakable. And I love that I use the word unspeakable, because they don't speak about the things they do. Unspeakable. And they're unspeakable because they don't know. They're in that illusion. You know? Yeah, man. So now I actually understand why I grabbed this tarot card. Gotta give some credit to this tarot for this laziness insight that I have. But yeah, so Osho Zen Tarot, highly recommend. Giving credit where credit is due is what we were talking about. So it's like a process, right, of healing, where we have to like kind of start looking at ourselves and looking at others and like taking credit where our credit is due. You know what I mean? It's a really good skill. Like, you know, really seeing yourself, like seeing ourselves for who we really are. Like, whoa, like I'm confident, not because of this narcissist. You know, it's like I'm confident in spite of that narcissist, but I'm confident. And that comes from the work that I've put in, right? And then if we flip back onto you, you know, whatever beautiful traits you have, those are your traits, because you've put in that beautiful work towards yourself. And so this is awesome. This relates to limerence. If you've ever experienced limerence, I've definitely experienced limerence. Oh yeah, I have. A lot. And luckily I don't like struggle with it anymore. And I have a video about limerence. I'll link it, another video about limerence. But basically, this is kind of what limerence is. It's like we give credit of ourselves to others. And oftentimes the people who are really good at triggering limerence are really narcissistic people. But not always. I want to make that clear. Not always. Well, actually, I don't know. I'll just say that. I don't know. Sorry if I'm being confusing. Fuck. I feel like most people I've been in limerence with weren't actually good people. Is all I'm going to say, in my experience. Most people I've had limerence with turned out not to be good people. And what was happening was this like projection dynamic, where I would be projecting all of my beauty and all of my beautiful self onto these narcissists. It's like when I would have an insight, I'd project that it was theirs. And when I would, it's like I would recognize such an amazing trait in myself. And then right now I'm thinking of a relationship I was in. And then I would kind of like paste it on my my boyfriend at the time, and think that he was that person. And then simultaneously, it was like my ex had really bad, he had an issue with inadequacy. And whenever I was around him, I would feel extremely inadequate. And I would see him as this like a beautiful, amazing, wonderful like person who was so awesome. And what that was it was like a kind of narcissistic switch that was going on, where I was giving him the credit for my beautiful traits, and he was giving me the credit for his bad traits. And it was like almost like we switched places, like our energies exchanged in that way, where it was like he was taking on my beautiful traits and I was taking on his like traumas and stuff. And I'm not talking about like a sacred energy exchange. I'm talking like just like sitting in front of him. Just like sitting in front of him. And so there's actually another card that taught me this lesson, and it's the projections card. It's beautiful. This is so good. So you see this card, it's like, here's the real him and here's the real her. She's wearing a mask, he's wearing a mask, she's wearing a mask. And when the projections happen, it's kind of like he's seeing her, himself projected onto her, and she's seeing herself projected onto him, but they're both wearing masks. They're not really seeing each other. And this is really important for you to understand in narcissistic dynamics, because this is what makes you like ultra compatible with narcissists, like ultra fucking compatible with narcissists, where it's like, if you are the type of person that projects all of your beautiful traits onto the narcissist, like that's that grade A supply. Like that's exactly what narcissists want. You know, they want someone highly empathetic, super beautiful, right? And it comes from the state of illusion that they're in, where it's like a highly empathetic and beautiful person should be looking for highly empathetic and beautiful people, right? But they believe they're highly empathetic and beautiful, and there's some part of them that is, but they're actually not. It's an illusion, right? So then they think they like that, like you're attracted to them, and that like you're just like them and you guys are a match. And a part of your process of healing is learning like, I'm actually not a match with that. You know what I mean? So it's like when you suppress your positive traits, you're very compatible with narcissists, and you're like the perfect supply, because then you validate their illusions. If you're constantly thinking that the narcissist is this beautiful, amazing person, you are grade A validation. You're constantly validating what they think about themselves. So part of like, you know, releasing in our compatibility with narcissists is about, you know, reclaiming ourselves. There's another card I want to show you for this. Reclaiming ourselves. And who we really are. And that's what this maturity card reminds me of, that. Where it's like, you see this mirror? I think it looks to me like a mirror. And she's like this beautiful, amazing person, just like you. Just like you. Okay, so she's this like beautiful flowering person. Like, to me, flowers are beautiful, right? And so as she matures and works through her own, she starts almost like reclaiming the pieces of herself that are beautiful. And that makes her very emotionally mature, right? To where she like doesn't choose narcissists, right? She's not compatible with narcissists anymore because she sees who she is. Or he. You're included too, guys. Definitely. Okay. I don't want that to sound weird. I hope that didn't sound weird. Okay. He or she, you know, sees how beautiful she is, and so she's able to choose her relationships, his or her relationships, from a healthy place. So it's like soul reclamation energy, you know what I mean? We meet narcissists and karmic people to reclaim the parts of ourselves that we've previously given to narcissists, that we've thrown away, not us as narcissists. And then at the same time, when we reclaim the positive traits, we got to throw away the negative traits. What's not us? What never was us, you know? And if you want more help with that, I do have a series on this channel, a running series on projections. So you can check out my playlist tab to find that series, where I share with you what the actual meanings of words are. And so when a narcissist projects onto you, you can have that like shield of knowledge where you're like, no, actually, I know what that word means, and I actually know that that's not me, and that doesn't match my behavior. So that's a projection. And then once you know, it's so hard, but once you can kind of see projections as what they are, projections, it's really easy to like be in this beautiful, mature, flowering energy, because you're like, oh, it's me. It's me. And like I know who I am, so and it makes you feel secure, right? Really secure when you know who you are. And yeah. Yeah. So, and it's like secure in the way that like you can be secure with you, because I know like survivors like you and me, let me know if you relate. For me, I feel very secure in my own presence. What I still struggle with a little bit is feeling secure in other people's presence. So it's like when I think of the term insecure, it's like I'm secure in here. I'm secure when I'm with me, but I'm not secure when I'm with others. But I've definitely been like transforming through this lately, and if you're super aligned with me, you're probably on the same page. So, yay, lessons. But yeah, so giving credit where credit is due. You know, taking credit for how beautiful and amazing you are, and not taking credit for the things that aren't you. You know what I mean? And yeah. And so narcissists will really want you to take credit for their bad traits. You know what I mean? They'll want you, an example of this, they'll want you to apologize when they've done something wrong. And that's their plea, asking you to take credit for their bad behavior. And then you take on that guilt and you apologize, and you're basically like kind of telling your mind that it's wrong to be innocent. You know what I mean? And no, it ain't. No, it ain't. Or that it's yeah. So narcissists will do that a lot with apologies, where they expect you to apologize for things that weren't your fault. And yeah, so you can figure out your boundaries on that. Like personally, my boundaries are like, I don't apologize unless I'm actually responsible. But there's like a balance, right? Because there are things that can happen where like we are partially responsible, right? So we can take partial responsibility for things that also, like, for example, you could be deeply impacted by a narcissist behavior that causes you to hurt someone else. So you are partially responsible for your behavior, but you can also, you know, share that responsibility with the narcissist who was manipulating you or whatever it was. So yeah, but giving credit where credit is due, you know, giving credit where credit is due. And this shows up in workplaces a lot, right? It's like narcissists in their frickin' illusions. Fucking illusions, dude. Narcissists in their fucking illusions. They, like... Fuck. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm just being a fucking weirdo, okay? I'm embarrassed. Alright. So, when they're in their illusions, you know, they think they're the best boss, right? They think they're the best boss. And, so when you do something really great, they take the credit for it. They're like, oh yeah, she did really great because I'm really great. And it's like, a lot of times us survivors are so motherfucking resilient. You are so motherfucking resilient that you like can succeed even when there's a bunch of narcissists fucking making life harder. And so the narcissists are like, oh hell yeah, I am a great person. This person's succeeding. I must be great. You know what I mean? And it's like, nah fam, your employee's just resilient as hell. Right? Like, nah fam, your employee's just a fucking superstar. So yeah, if you're a superstar, which I know you are, subscribe to the channel. And I love you.